Good afternoon. I'm Stephen with Holloway Hideaway Woodworking. In this video, I am going to turn the salvation receipt blank that I cast a couple of days ago using Jason Rose's Speakeasy Universal Casting System, otherwise known as the SUCS. The SUCS is a great system for one-offs. It's got some great features. In this video, you're going to see a lot of tools that I have acquired over the last couple years from T-Shadow, but now they are Speakeasy pen supply company. I'm using my negative rake scraper in this video right there. I recommend the negative rake scraper from Speakeasy. It can be sharpened. You basically can use it forever. I use my negative rake scraper for all resins. I use my magic skew for anything that is wood. All right. You can see the Tim Geist turn between center bushings I'm using on this project, plus the live and dead center are both purchased from. I purchased them from T-Shadow, but Speakeasy carries those. In this, you'll see that the negative rake scraper turns the resin almost flawlessly. You can get a really good finish profile of your blank to where you want it. So there's not a whole lot of guesswork with it. And I use a Jet 1221 VS lathe. This was the first lathe I bought. I was a little impatient. I was going to go buy a Harbor Freight lathe, but it was on back order, and I was impatient to get started. So I went ahead and bought my Jet, and it was probably the best thing that I have done, the best piece of equipment that I have bought, right? I do now have a Harbor Freight lathe. It's my little backup, but it's like turning on a Pinto compared to my Jet, which is a Cadillac. For you guys that have turned on the Harbor Freight lathes, you know what I'm talking about. This live center that I'm using here from Speakeasy, it doesn't get anywhere near as hot. The bearings in this thing are amazing, because I was using one from Harbor Freight before I got this one, and it would always seem like it was getting super warm. And I was just concerned that it would freeze up on me, seize up with the bearings inside. But this one has been amazing. Okay, looks like I have finished turning the blank down to the bushings where I wanted it. All right, I'm going to remove the turn between center bushings. The live and dead centers are going to come off. Big thing, right? I do not use a pen mandrel, right? Except, there's one exception. I use a pen mandrel when I want to finish blanks. I do not want to sand on my bushings. I do not want to micro mesh on my bushings. One of the things that I have found out, because I used to micro mesh on my bushings and I'm trying to get a good finish, I have seen the darkness from the bushing carry over to the blank when sanding on the bushings. When I sand on my non-stick bushings that you see here, that I also got from Bob Marquis when he owned T-Shadow, now Jason Rose's Speakeasy, right? I've never had an issue with these bushings. Little known fact, if you guys go to Jason Rose's annual Christmas party, I'll throw a shout out to that, which is coming up in less than 6 months. Um, Bob usually used to, before when he was T-Shadow, would give away a set of these non-stick bushings every year with a little bitty grab bag, right? So I've never bought my non-stick bushings. Thanks, Bob. I really do appreciate that. I don't know if Jason's going to continue it this year, but for those that have come to Jason's Christmas party, he has the annual Slumline pen swap. It's a fun uh, little thing. You come up with the craziest, kookiest slimline pen that you can come up with. Um, Last year, I had the craziest pen anybody has seen in quite some time. Um, Quick story, I went out and shot a squirrel in September during squirrel season. I cut some hair off of the tail. I casted the tail in Alumilite and with a little bit of red dye from Braxton Frankenberry's uh, amazing Divine Island pigments, and it looked like there was blood in amongst the hair and on the label, right? Again, it's one of those things that you come up with the craziest thing you can come up with just for this slimline pen. All right. Right here, I'm putting on CA glue. I use Mercury Flex Thin and Mercury Flex Medium, 3 coats of each. I use Mercury Accelerator in order to get the the CA to cure in between. I put the CA on at about 200 RPMs. Put on my accelerator and just keep going in between. All right. There's your the Mercury Medium Flex. All right, the cool thing about Medium Flex, right, the thin and medium flex from Mercury is if you drop a pen that's been finished with it, um, many of your other CA glues are going to spiderweb crack if you drop them. We all drop our pens, right? And once you drop something that has spiderweb cracked, it's never going to look like it did when it came off the lathe. The cool part about Mercury Flex, when you drop a pen, right, it's not going to spiderweb crack. The majority of the time, right, nothing is going to even happen. You will, if you drop it on something that's sharp, it will give a little bit of a gouge. But that gouge will not cause it to spiderweb crack. It was made specifically by Mercury for finishing pen blanks. All right. Um, so that's my plug for the Mercury CA glue, Mercury Flex, which is also carried by Jason Rose at Speakeasy Pen Emporium. He carries all the Mercury products that I use. You will see there is a product that's coming up here shortly that Jason does not carry, and it is Meguiar's car wax. A lot of people use plastic polishes and some other stuff out there on the market. I don't. I use auto wax. If it's good enough for my pickup truck, it's good enough for a pen blank, and it shines right up beautifully. Never have an issue. Um, I did not get these sets of this set of micro mesh from Speakeasy, but when it's time to swap these out, which it looks like it's getting pretty close. I know Jason does carry micro mesh with Speakeasy. I go with Speakeasy a lot. It's here local, guys. If you're local to the Marietta, Parkersburg area, Southeast Ohio, Northwest West Virginia, Jason's local here. So instead of paying shipping, um, I just go see Jason for a lot of my pen making supplies. I do enjoy the pen making. Again, after I run through all the micro mesh pads, I'll dry off the blank with just a blue paper towel. I went cheap with a lot of my stuff, guys. As far as I don't use expensive towels or pre-cut towels to do this. I just take a roll of blue paper towels. I rip them into strips. I don't even cut them. There's some guys out there that just cut them. I don't. I just rip them into strips. Works for me. What works for me may not work for other folks, but that's really what works for me. So as you can see, I'm finishing up. This is the last micro mesh pad. Again, it's probably seen better days. All right, I'll dry this blank off, and then I will put on with my fingers the car wax, the Meguiar's Auto Car Wax Protectant. Right here, I'm just drying it off, getting any excess water, debris from the polishing process. This is one of my favorite blanks that I've casted. Here comes the Meguiar's Cleaner Wax. Again, I just put it on with my fingers, allow it to dry. My fingers are softer than any paper towel or anything, so unless your fingers, like I said, are 90 grit, and you can use your fingers to put them on. But from this point, I'll let that dry. I'll take another blue paper towel. I will basically buff it off. I will remove the blank from the pen mandrel. I have to snap off the pen blank from the non-stick bushings, right? And then what I do to clean up the end is I have a pen jig, sanding jig that was developed by Tim Geist here locally in the Vienna, West Virginia area, and I put that on my disc sander, and it cleans up the ends. And then I will press it into a pen kit. A lot of times when I go to I have all of my pen kits located in my little casting shop here in the house. And then I make a determination at that point what I'm going to actually press it into. I don't have, a lot of times I don't have a preconceived, well, I'm going to put this into this particular kit. I know the style of kit, I just don't know which one. I look at the blank, look at the pen kit, see which one to me it looks good on. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to try to grow this channel. I'm going to put videos on here as frequently as I can. I'm enjoying turning, and this is my way of sharing what I'm doing with you guys. But once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.